Welcome back, guys. Welcome to our build. As I'm sitting up here on the roof of a section that you guys have not yet seen, that'll be in this video, but I wanted to use this moment to remind you guys that we are building this house in real time. So it might take a month or so to get some content together, to get some. I don't want to just put videos up that have nothing in them, that it's just boring. Put something out every week. So that's why it's taking so long. Part of why it's taking so long. The other part is I work a full-time job besides this, so I'm here whenever I can be, weekends and in the mornings before work, since I work the evening shift. So yeah, we're doing as much as we can when we can. So I just wanted to remind you guys. But if you want more up-to-date updates, you can follow us on Instagram, which is one project away, and we have more real-time updates on there, so go check it out.
So I actually bought my shingles through Lowe's, and the only downfall of buying them through Lowe's is they can't actually stock it on the roof. They don't have the equipment for it. So they can deliver to the site, but they can't get it up on the roof. And I got lucky. My cousin had a contact of a guy who can come and help me out, and they came up with their truck and they lift up the whole entire pallet and boom it out onto the roof. And then I gave them a hand to disperse the shingles evenly across the roof. And this was a huge help. Otherwise we'd be lugging these up the ladder by hand or using the backhoe to get it up there somehow. So big thanks to these guys.
So today framers have started installing windows, as you can see over there. Wanted to show you what we were doing. We got this Protecto wrap window flashing tapes, kind of like a aluminum foil finish to it, peel and stick, very sticky stuff. And you flash the sill and the outside, and then once the window, so what we've been doing, running a bead of window sealant along here as well, and then we're using aluminum nails. We're not using screws, we're using nails to secure it into place, and then we're coming back after the fact and putting more of this window tape on the outside. I'll take you to one of the other windows and show you that.
I had them run a bead of window sealant on the two side flanges as well as the top flange. We left the bottom flange open just in case any water got in there. It would have a route to get out. So next they would pass the window outside, and they would use two pencils as shim or blocks, set the window on top of that, level it off, get it plumbed off, and get it secured. Once the window is secured, the next step is the window flashing tape.
As you can see, all the windows on this side are already in and taped. Same thing with these front ones here. So the flange goes over the tape, and then on the sides the tape goes over the flange, and you can see here aluminum nails. So when you're putting on the trim piece, you don't have the screw head sticking out and making your trim teeter-totter. And then up at the top we have the house wrap going over the top of the flange, so if any water's coming down, it goes to the outside of the tape and works its way down, so it's not running in behind the tape. And same thing between the windows. It's basically like shingles. You start from the bottom and you work your way up, layering everything so things aren't getting in the way of one another, and so it gives the water a chance in somewhere to run down through, because the water will find the easiest route down no matter what. So you got it. Most of the windows on the main floor are done. We got a couple more to do, and then the basement, and we are all done with windows. Now that we are back in the house, I wanted to show you real quick our fix for these scissor trusses that were all made wrong. So you can see we scabbed on a 2x6 onto each one of those just to get the peak of the vault to shift over to the right a couple, I think it was 3.5 or 4 inches, something like that. But now that that is moved over, the peak of the vault actually is centered over these windows, which is exactly how I drew the house. And also the bottom end of that vault planes out with this wall here. So that is fixed, all taken care of. So we are happy to see that. So this morning I got a second coat of paint on my fascia, and here's kind of my setup. I got some stack racks, and then whatever else ran out, I just kind of rigged something up as a drying rack. Got plastic hung up to hold the heat in. Normally this plastic isn't here. I usually pull it back. And then when I'm painting, I use this bigger propane heater, but once I leave, go to work or for the night, I plug this little guy in, and just had to make the space a bit tighter for that little one to keep up, since we're still getting freezing temperatures at night, and wanted this paint to set up real good. So now that this is painted, neighbor asked me for some help installing his windows, so I'm gonna head over there and give him a hand the rest of the day. Started some fascia, got a few pieces up in the front, but since it's so nice and sunny, I decided to come back here, be in the sun. And since I'm doing this by myself, got this jig made up. You can see a pencil mark right here, so I know what my reveal is every time. And to go with that, I bought this clamp at Lowe's, and this thing is pretty awesome. I can use it basically with one hand, and it's got 600 pounds of clamping pressure, so it does the job pretty darn good. So I get my piece where I want it, watching my pencil line, and then I can tighten it up a little bit, and then I still got some room to wiggle to make sure I got this set exactly where I want. And then there you go. that is set and it is not going anywhere. Now I'll go over there and I have another jig that I'll show you, and then I can slide in my piece here and then get it nailed off exactly where it needs to be. So I got my piece up here. I've learned it's much easier to drop it down than try to wrestle it up. So I have this other jig. Basically, this I hold up to the bottom of the sub fascia, and then the fascia will sit on this piece here, and that'll give me the same reveal I have on my other jig.
So this next piece of fascia definitely did not go as planned. Came off the roof a little bit too fast and wasn't able to get it hooked onto my jig. However, I did save it from falling to the ground, raised it back up, slid it into place, and got it nailed off, and everything worked out in the end.
Man, this stuff sucks. This is a mess. But anyway, this last weekend my dad, my brother, and my father-in-law came out and gave me a hand. We put our fascia up that I painted earlier, and then sealed it and painted the nails and everything. And right here you could see kind of a little extra detail that my father-in-law gave us the idea to do. You can't really see it from here. You can kind of just see the shadow coming off it. I'll try to jump up on the roof and get a better shot of it so you guys get a better look at it. But yeah, all the fascia is up, so we're ready to put the drip edge on the roof. So guys, here is that detail that I was talking about. It's kind of a diamond shape, you can see, and it has a few purposes. First, it just adds a little bit of character to it. The second, it hides the seam that goes right down the middle. So if your angle isn't perfect, or doesn't always work out, or if the sub fascia is tilted back, or whichever way, this will help cover that up and hide it. And also, we got, I think, about 6 nails into this piece, 3 on each side, and so it gives it so much more strength to prevent this fascia from twisting or warping in the future. So next thing we got to do, you can see already here I got some drip edge put on. Just started. We got quite a bit more to go. So that will be the next video, will be the start of the drip edge and the roofing. So can't wait to catch you on the next one. Take care, guys.